Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. Yes. Assalamu alaikum wa rahmatullahi wa barakatuh. Bismillah ar-Rahman ar-Rahim. Welcome all. Nice to see you another time in our weekly webinars hosted by the Arab English Teachers Association in its 21st international webinar, and this time it is titled as the impact of lesson planning for ESL classroom. And we thank Dr. Muhammad Safdar Bhiti from Pakistan, our guest speaker for this session. We thank him very much for accepting first our invitation to deliver this great webinar and lecture. And I hope that you will get benefit from it. And also, I welcome all you attendees from all over the world and hope you enjoy our session. Let's first introduce Dr. Muhammad. Dr. Muhammad Safdar Bhiti, Regional Coordinator for TEFL Program, AIOU, Pakistan, and he is awardee of the National HR Award 2016 and a writer of 4 books. And of course, he has a lot of accomplishments and achievements, and he is a successful doctor, and always he is a guest speaker in local and international webinars. And also he is certified as a IELTS trainer by British Council of Pakistan, and he's a national and international, or he participated in national and international conferences, about 80 of them, and he also had presented about 100 papers, 40 publications, and 90 theses, and many, many other achievements. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad, for accepting our invitation another time. And we will begin, but after introducing myself shortly for you, because I am the president of this association. I am Shawqiya Hawawla, as I said from the beginning, from Palestine, and I am also, or I have a lot of achievements and accomplishments. For example, I won the second place in the President's Creativity and Excellency Award in Palestine 2020. I am an ambassador for many global applications which are engaging and motivating, like Wakelet, like Pansy, like Kahoot, like Nearwood, Minecraft, etc. And also I won the ISA International. I participated in many global awardees like Variety Award, Collaboration Award, and Palestine Teacher. And also I have a lot of accomplishments, as I said. Let's begin with Dr. Muhammad, inshallah. Please, the floor is yours. Go ahead.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much for introducing me so nicely. Uh, Let me share my screen.
Go ahead, please.
Is my screen visible to you, ma'am?
Yes, yes, great. Thank you. You can make screen sharing.
Okay. I'm going to share the screen myself. No issue.
Yes.
Okay, ji. Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Assalamu alaikum and very good evening. This is Dr. Muhammad Safdar Bhatti from the Islamic University of Bahawalpur, Pakistan, and I am very happy to be invited once again to give a talk on a very important topic and train my very sacred land. So the topic of my talk is impact of lesson planning for ESL classroom, and that is a brief sketch of my talk. Can you see my screen, ma'am?
Yes, yes, of course, it is
Okay.
visible, but
Okay.
you can click on the glass in order to make it larger.
Okay. I am just going
Yes.
to. Now, is it good? Is it good now, ma'am?
Beneath, no, beneath there is something like a glass. You can click on it in order to make the screen full. Okay.
Now, is it visible, the full screen
Yes, it
or
is
not?
visible. It is visible, but it is small. You can make screen sharing the full screen, you know.
I'm go-
Beneath, on the right, there is something like a glass. Click on it.
I'm just going to
Beneath,
see it.
right.
I'm just going to see it again.
Yes,
Just wait for a minute.
yes. Or from above the slideshow, you can click slideshow.
Just a minute, ma'am. Just a
Yes.
minute. There is
Either
a
from above slideshow or
there,
from the glass.
there is nothing over here, ma'am.
Yes, so you can go continue, or also here beneath there is 77%. You can click and move the line in order to enlarge the screen.
Okay,
If you can, if you don't, if you can't, no problem. Go ahead, please.
okay.
Yes.
Just a minute. Now I am going to share it.
Yes.
Now tell me, is it visible?
Yes, it is visible. Thank you.
Okay, then
Go
it's okay.
ahead.
Okay, actually the objectives of the webinar are, after this webinar, all the attendees will be able to boost up their existing teaching skills, identify meaning and theory of lesson planning, develop their own lesson plans, and assess and measure core issues of lesson planning. There is a well-known maxim: if you fail to plan, you are planning to fail. Respected audience, education is a shared commitment between dedicated teachers, motivated students, and enthusiastic parents with high expectations. Teaching is more than imparting knowledge, it is inspiring change. Learning is more than absorbing facts, it is acquiring understanding. A lesson plan is a detailed guide for teaching a lesson. It is a step-by-step guide that outlines the teacher's objectives for what the students will accomplish that day. Creating a lesson plan involves setting goals, developing activities, and determining the materials that will be used. According to concise Oxford Dictionary, lesson plan means to make design what you have to teach the learners. It is like a map, a detailed procedure for teaching, actually a plan of action, something that is personal, a written statement, and it makes the teaching learning process more effective. The purpose of lesson planning is to achieve the objectives, to encourage reflection, refinement, and improvement, to enhance student achievement, to help teachers to avoid unpleasant surprises, to keep the teacher and the students on track. They stay organized and focused during the teaching learning process. It provides directions to a substitute teacher, provides the roadmap and visuals in a logical sequence. The teacher has considered, prepared, and gathered all of the materials that he will need for the lesson. The teachers manage time, effort, and resources efficiently. Teachers are able to determine when to insert icebreakers and interesting facts and lessons to keep the learners glued to their lessons. Teachers can adopt accurate instructional strategies and teacher is clear about what he wants to teach. Actually, poor lesson planning is aimless wandering, that is a waste of time, few connections to prior learning, it is a lack of needed materials, it is a frustration for the teacher and the students, and a poor management, unmet objectives, and unorganized. The lesson planning process is basically the objectives, then the activities which include practice with the feedback, and at the end there is some assessment. Decisions in teaching activity, teaching behavior, learning behavior, and the content. What to consider when writing a lesson plan? Know your students. How? Their ability and interest levels, their background, attention spans, ability to work together in groups, prior knowledge and learning exercises, and the experience, special needs or accommodations, learning preferences. Know the content, how? The subject matter that will taught, and institutional curriculum guidelines and national curriculum standards. Then know the materials, how? Technology, software, aviates, teacher mentors, community resources, equipment, library resources, local guest speakers. These are some key components of the lesson plan. First one is the profile, second one are the objectives, and the third one the materials and the equipments, and the next one is procedure, and the last one is assessment. What the profile is? Basically, that is the basic information about the lesson, the name of the lesson, the contributor, the subject, grade level, instruction setting, small group or the whole class, general description of the lesson, and the standards. While these are some objectives, determine what you want students to learn and be able to do, and focus on the concept or skill which you intend to teach. There are three types of the domains of learning objectives. First one is the cognitive objectives, which describes the knowledge that learners are to acquire. Second one is the affective objectives, describe the attitudes, feelings, and dispositions that learners are expected to develop. And this last one is the psychomotor objectives, relate to the manipulative and motor skills that learners are to master. The materials, PowerPoint presentation, these are the visual aids, textbooks, journal articles, multimedia materials, instructional video or the audio, job aid, and rubric, checklist, modified form sources, designing instructional materials. And the equipments are commonly used instructional equipments, software applications, PowerPoint, media player, computer equipment, and computer, internet connection, video equipment, projector. The procedure, outlining the steps of the teaching process. They are useful instructional strategies using the appropriate technique in lesson plan. Continuously check for understanding. Ensure your lesson is rigorous and relevant to the students. Introduce new vocabulary. Keep learning styles in mind. Model and show students that you want them to know. Provide examples and scenarios students can relate to. Use slide presentations or graphic organizers, and provide guidance as students solve real world problems. Provide hand-on activities and opportunities that allow students to practice their newly learned skill and concepts. Assessments. Assess the outcome and to what extent the objectives were achieved. Ensure the assessment activity is directly and explicitly tied to the stated objectives. How to assess? You can give some quiz, the worksheets, the activities, hand-on practice, oral discussions, and take time to reflect upon the result and revise the lesson plan accordingly. These are some models of lesson plan. Ganny's 9 events of instruction, Midline Hunter's 7-step lesson plan model, and the 5 E's model. According to the Ganny's 9 events of instruction, gain attention, inform learners of objectives, stimulate recall of prior learning, present the stimulus, provide learning guidance, elicit performance, that is definitely the practice, provide feedback, assess performance, enhance retention and transfer. Midline Hunter 7-step model. According to that, the step 1 is the review. Second one is the anticipatory set. Third one, the objective. Fourth one is the input and modeling. And fifth one is checking understanding. Sixth one is guided practice. And seventh one is independent practice. That is the 5 E's model: engage, explore, explain, elaborate, and evaluate. You have to engage your students in the class, and you have to explore their potential. You have to explain whatever the lessons you are going to teach, and you also have to elaborate it with some examples. And at the end, you will have to evaluate your performance and the students' performance as well. If we talk about the importance of lesson planning with reference to teaching, teacher and student point of view, according to teaching point of view, effective teaching doesn't mean just communicating the information. It is something more than that. It is planning and imparting. So in a well-planned lesson, teaching becomes more interesting. According to teacher's point of view, planning reveals teacher's personality. It is a sound proof that what a teacher has been doing in the class. It gives confidence to the teacher because he has full control over the subject. It saves a lot of time and provides the teacher more freedom in teaching. It can also be useful for teacher in future planning. According to students' point of view, if teaching is carried out according to a plan, learning becomes more effective and interesting. In a well-planned lesson, students' participation is ensured. They become sleepless even at their homes. An unplanned lesson may lose their interest and put them into sleep, even in the classroom. These are some WH questions regarding to the lesson planning. Planning for home, definitely they are the learners. Planning for work, the syllabus. Planning for where, the classroom. Planning for when, the schedule and the timetable. Planning for why, to achieve the objectives which must be very smart. And planning for how, the methods and the activities. That is we cannot deny the importance of 4 P's format. First one is the preparation before the class, presentation in front of the class, practice during the class, production after the class. And fifth one, I myself have added, that is the praying. The teacher always pray for the success of students because the teacher's success always lies in the success of his students. So if there are some lapses left by the students, it is because of the prayers of the teachers that they may touch the peaks of the success. And that is the model lesson plan for you people. And in the end, I would like to request you all, if you don't plan, the students will plan for you. So always enter in the class with a well-planned lesson planning and with full preparation. So you will have to work with your students with a variety of activities, with a lot of, you have to impart a lot of knowledge to them because they are our future. They are basically our product and our lot. So if the teacher is updated, upgraded, and he is also a model for role model for his students, definitely his students may have his reflection. And thanks for joining me. And if you have any question, you can ask me, please.
Thank you
So
very
that's all.
much. Yes, it is
Sunny.
very informative and distinctive. Thank you. I will open the mics for them. If there is any question, they can raise it.
Okay, ma'am. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Yes, if you have any question, please raise your hand and ask Dr. Muhammad.
Hello, sir. Is it audible?
Yes, you are audible.
Yes, go ahead.
Yeah, this is
Go ahead,
Aravindan from.
please.
Yeah, I would like to ask a question regarding the lesson plan, where if we have a heterogeneous class of mixed group, like students of below average, average, and high achievers, how will it be possible to have a lesson plan to suffice all these three category of students?
Okay, sir, thank you very much for your very nice question.
Yeah.
Actually, in the heterogeneous class, you will have to handle it yourself. Because I am also teaching, all of us are the teachers, and we are also having the heterogeneous classes. They are mixed caliber classes. So, in my point of view, you will have to work with them as a pair, make their pairs, and then assign them some groups, and in this way, they will be learning in a better way. Because while designing their pairs, you will have to take care of that the every students must be with some bright student, and whatever the things you are teaching, automatically they will be learning something from you and something from their fellow. So in this way their learning can be improved.
Okay,
Thank
right,
you.
sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you very
You're
much.
welcome. You're welcome.
Yes.
Assalamu alaikum.
Walaikum assalam.
Dr. Sab, I have a question.
Hello.
Uh,
Yes,
when
please.
when we are done with the lesson planning thing with the class, and after
Yes.
the assessment, what should be our planning for slow learners? Apart from our strategies that we have used already in the classroom with our lesson planning, what strategies should be used for the slow learners, or after the assessment that we find that our lesson was not understood by them? What should we do in this context?
I think, thank you very much, ma'am, for your very nice question. I think you will have to give him or her some tutorial. I think in every week there must be some tutorial class for the slow learners, and the teacher should have a spell check who is a slow learner and who is a brighter one. And with the help of his assessment, he has checked their performance, and at the end, he or she, the teacher, should arrange some tutorial for those students and try to clarify their concepts, and bit by bit and gradually they will improve it. In
All
my,
right.
I think, yeah.
It means that you recommend a use of technology in the classroom.
Yes,
Is it so?
yes, technology and the tutorial class as well. You will have to give them some extra coaching and some extra time.
All right. All right. Thank you, Doctor.
You're welcome. You're welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for this nice question. Yes, another one, if you have any question, because this topic, as I think it is very important, and many ask to bring and to ask a guest speaker to talk about. So if you have other questions, you can go ahead. Planning is very important. Without the planning, we cannot have a successful class. For example, Dr. Muhammad, I want to ask you, what challenges are facing planning? Are they, for example, hard and tough ones, or we can conquer them?
Which one? Sorry, I cannot understand your question, ma'am. Would you please repeat it?
Yes, I want to ask you about the challenges that we face as educators during planning, and how can we
Hmm.
overcome these challenges?
Okay, okay. You are talking about the challenges we being the teachers
Yes,
are facing. Okay, okay, okay. Actually, the
yes,
teachers are basically, in my point of view, that is a prophetic profession, and we are there. I think we have to, I think, glorify their souls. Teachers are their soul parents, right? So we have to face these challenges with I think open-mindedness, with open heart, and we have to face a lot of other challenges. Why we are not going to tackle those challenges which we are have to face in the classroom? The students are like our own kids. If they are having some issues, we are facing some problems in our institution, school, college, university, wherever we are teaching. We have to tackle them. We have to devise some, I think, strategies for that. We don't have to take those challenges on our heart. Like I am talking about in Pakistan or everywhere, there is internet issue, no problem. We can have to teach them with the help of some other technology, no issue. You will have to use your own mobile, your own tabs. You can teach them. because every problem has a solution. It is up to the teacher how well he tackles that problem. So it depends on the teacher, in my point of view, ma'am.
Yes, thank you for this nice question answer. Sorry,
Okay.
but if we plan, for example, as teachers, and something goes wrong, for example, inside the class, what will we do with our planning? Can we change it, or is it a fixed plan, for example?
Okay, okay. Ma'am, if we, because we are the humans, not the machines, we can commit some mistakes in the class, even in the planning. We have to pass some excuse to our students, and then we have to sort that issue with our colleagues, with our mentors, with our some seniors. If the problem is that problem is fixed out, then that's okay. Otherwise, you will have to know we are having some internet. You have a lot of, I think, resources over there. You can consult that issue over there.
Yes, thank you very much. But what are the components of a successful planning?
I have just given you those components in the last, I think, and I have given you those. First one, you will have to design your the most important thing, the objectives. Without the objectives, you cannot plan your lesson. And afterwards, you will have to
Yes,
design some activities. How well, let's suppose, what were your objectives, which they are called your SLOs, students learning outcomes. At the end of your lesson, you will have to check whether I have achieved my those objectives or the goals or not. I think with the help of
yes,
activities, because we are the English language teachers. English itself is very hectic and boring. So when the students are learning this language, they are bored. So it depends on the language teacher. You will have to devise some activities. You will have to devise some, I think, aviates. With the help of that, the students, you can get the attention of your students. They will definitely be behind you.
yes, of course. And as I think these objectives should be measurable, should be also
Yes,
suitable for our students,
yes,
their levels, their multiple intelligences, their
yes,
learning types or styles of learning, etc., and interests as
yes,
well. Okay, thank
yes.
you. Thank you, Doctor.
You welcome. You
Miss
welcome.
Hadia,
Yes.
go ahead. Welcome. Open your mic, Miss Hadia, and go ahead with your
Of
question.
course, welcome. Thanks a lot for this lesson. I think that our plan our lesson must have a plan, but our plan must be changed with our situation in classroom. If
Yes.
students don't stand in the first class, we must change in the second class. So we must
Although we
have
put some planning,
many plans at the same time. We must find a solution. We must be
Yes.
uh, able to find a solution and to success with our students, which are able to accept this plan or to ameliorate this plan, to change this plan by another.
Okay, actually, the lesson plan is must be done with the mutual collaboration of the students and the class and the syllabi. Keeping in view the syllabus of your students, you will have to consult with them because they will have to learn. If you have make those lessons very interesting according to their level, according to their interest, you will have to capture their attention. So if you are not going to consult their consult their interest, I think then your planning is for no use. So first you will have to consult with your students and then you will have to plan it accordingly.
yes, thank you. Thank you, Miss Hadia, for your
Thanks
question.
a
Thank
lot.
you, Doctor, for this answer. But I think Dr. Muhammad, here, for example, in Palestine, we are fixed to certain curricula, which is British curricula, and we cannot change in it. But in my opinion, we can change it according to our students' levels, as you said. For example, today when I was teaching literature for the first secondary class, there is a lesson about a dog whose name is Buck, and all the novel is about him. I wasn't interested in it like my students, but nevertheless I tried to facilitate it and to break the routines, for example, to relate the incidents of the novel to the real situation, so we can change as much as we can.
Yes, good, good. Because we cannot change the syllabus, we cannot change the curriculum, but we
Yes,
can change the activities according
the
to the interest level of our
activities.
students.
Yes,
Yes,
of course.
activities and the teaching method and the
Yes,
teaching methods. We
of
can
course.
change it. Yes, we
Yes.
must be sticky towards our syllabus and the curriculum.
Yes, thank you. Now
Yes.
let's come to Mr. Shaukat. Please go ahead. Unmute yourself, please, Mr. Shaukat. Unmute yourself. Yes.
Yes, thank you, ma'am. Thank you. Assalamu
Thank you.
alaikum.
Yes.
Alaikum
Walaikum
assalam wa
salam.
rahmatullahi wa barakatuh.
Yes, ma'am. I have a question from sir. So
Yes, please.
I want to ask that, sir, is it a teacher's map of mind about means lesson plan? Is it a teacher's map of mind, or a teacher would have a concrete or in form of hard copy a lesson plan in daily classes? As usually in our country here in Pakistan, we don't have such type of practice, like lesson plans are not properly teachers make. They come just in the class and deliver their lessons. So what would you suggest for it?
Oh, thank you very much, my dear. You are representing Pakistan. Why you are saying so? But I think in some English medium schools, there are some lesson plans, and on the daily basis, you will have to submit that lesson plan to your principal, to your head, to your coordinator. Even we are in the university level. I am teaching in the university. Over there, we are having some scheme of work, syllabus scheme of work. We have to submit. First week we have to teach this one. Second week we have to teach then again and again. I am requesting you all that you should not, I think, derail from your curriculum, derail from your syllabus, but you will have to plan yourself whether it is in your mind or that is in the I think written form. But I suggest you that it must be in the written form. Just for 1 year, first year, or the for the first 2 or 3 years, you will have to work on that. Afterwards, you will be in a very cool water. You don't have to plan anything. You will have to just take your previous lesson planning, and then you will have to start teaching to your class. So that was I was saying that is the blueprint of your class. That is I think that is a reflection of the teacher's personality, that he has planned. Actually the topic is the same, the lesson is the same, but the teacher is going to devise different activities. They are very interesting. They are the very eye-catching. They are very interesting. They create the, I think, interest level of the students. They are the motivating to the students, and the students are really motivated to learn from that teacher. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you very
Thank
much.
you very much. Thank you. And now let's come another time to Miss Irium or Mr. maybe. Please go ahead. Irium, if I pronounce it correctly.
That is Iram Aslam.
Iram. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am. Iram.
yes. Iram, yes, Iram. Welcome. Go ahead, please, with your question.
Assalamualaikum, sir.
Walaikum salam.
Sir, I think teacher is not just a instructor but also a motivator. So my question is regarding this: what steps should we take for students' motivation? Suggest us.
I think for the student, thank you very much for your very nice question. Motive for the creating the interest and the motivation of the students, the teacher should devise some his lesson with the help of, I think, aviates. if you are going to use some charts, you are going to use some realia, you will have to bring some toys in the class. In this way, you are going to catch the interest of your students. They are going to show their personal interest. The teacher is the facilitator. Nowadays, the duty of the teacher is not just giving the bookish knowledge. He has to impart. He has to clarify their concepts, and whatever the work, hard work, and whatever the efforts he has to put, he must
Thank
put
you,
in
sir.
his class. Yes, you welcome.
Thank you. Thank you for this question, and thank you, Dr. Muhammad. Here, I am in the Arab English Teachers Association, AETA. We are honored to award the certificate of appreciation to Dr. Muhammad Safdar Bhaiti from Pakistan in recognition of his outstanding contributions and delivering this lecture, which is titled Impact of Lesson Planning for ESL Classroom. Thank you, Dr. Muhammad, for this distinctive presentation. It was fruitful, it was helpful, and as educators, all of us need it. Thank you very much. And thank you also for accepting our invitation. And I won't forget to thank all our participants and attendees from all over the world. And also special thanks for Mr. Al Hassan Al Rabi, my colleague from Morocco, for his help. Thank you very much. Thank you.
So nice of you, ma'am. And again, I think that is for the fifth or sixth time I am going to give my talk with you people. So I am very happy that we are now a family. We are living in a global village. Whatever the
Yes,
issues we are having, we will
yes,
have to discuss. We have to collaborate. There must be sharing and pairing, not only with the
yes,
students, but also globally. We are the teachers. I'm not going to give this lecture. Basically, I'm sharing whatever the knowledge, whatever the things I know, I am just going to share with my colleagues, and even I learn a lot from your questions. So once again, thank you very
yes,
much for inviting me. And whenever you need my services, I will be a call away. Thank you very much, ma'am. So nice of you.
yes. My pleasure, Dr. Muhammad. You are a very
Thank you very much,
distinctive
sir. Thank
presenter.
you.
You're welcome.
Thank, thank you very much. If there is
Thank
any other
Sir,
question before leaving, you can ask. Yes, Mr. Shaukat?
yes, ma'am. I'm asking to sir, shall he or would he share his presentation, please?
Yes, you will have to
Yes, he
send your
asked.
just email. You will have to send me your email. Inshallah, I will share that.
Okay, thank you, sir. Thank
Yes,
you very
please
much.
write it.
Yes.
Write it in the chat box, please.
Yes.
Okay, thank you, sir.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, if anybody wants the presentation, he can contact Dr. Muhammad via the email, and he will hopefully send it to him or to her. Thank you, Doctor.
So
Yes,
nice of you,
thank
ma'am.
you.
Allah Hafiz. Allah
Zahid.
Hafiz. Assalamu alaikum. Assalamu alaikum.
عليكم السلام. السلام عليكم ورحمة الله. Thank you very much. السلام عليكم. Please fill the form for certification, and there is another form as meeting feedback. Please fill them before leaving. I will wait for 2 minutes and then leave the meeting. Stop it.